before you make your next platter of tortilla wraps. Watch this video. Most people make at least a few of these mistakes without even realizing it. Mistakes that lead to dull colors, messy fillings, and ingredients spilling everywhere. But once you know what not to do, your wraps will look beautiful, hold together properly, and taste delicious. Today I'm going to show you the 13 most common tortilla wrap mistakes and how to fix every single one. Let's get straight into it. Look at this beautiful board of fresh, bright ingredients. These are all great filling options for tortilla wraps. There's some leafy salad greens in a variety of different shades and textures. Carrots are always a great addition. Purple cabbage or a ready cut carrot and beetroot mix. Tomatoes, avocado, cucumber, boiled eggs and gherkins add a bit of extra flavour. Then we've got some cheese slices and a selection of different meats. Pastrami, crunchy chicken, sliced ham and salami. Of course, you don't need to use all of these fillings, and there are plenty of other tasty ingredients you can use. So choose a mix of ingredients you love and enjoy. Next, we've got a selection of dips and chutneys. These are your flavour boosters and your glue. These three here make good bindings for holding the wrap together. Mayonnaise, cream cheese and sour cream. Then we've got a caramelised red onion chutney, beetroot hummus and a spicy red capsicum dip. And along here there's an avocado dip, tomato relish and a sweet potato dip. The first common mistake people make is ignoring the power of colour. Colour plays such an important part in wrap making. Sometimes we don't think about what we're putting into our wraps. We just grab a few things out of the fridge, pop them in and roll it up. But a little thought here can make such a difference. This wrap has pale shredded chicken, pale mashed egg and pale Havarti cheese. It'll taste fine, but it doesn't jump out at you and say, "I'm delicious, you should eat me," does it? So think colour first. Look back at this huge selection of bright and beautiful ingredients and remember to add a few pops of colour to your wraps to make them instantly look more appealing. Let's prepare our fillings. I always put my mayonnaise into a piping bag. It makes it clean and quick to add it to the wraps. Mayonnaise is a great binding spread. It glues the wrap together and isn't an overpowering flavour. Putting it in a piping bag means I can make a very small hole to control how much is added to each wrap, and I'll be able to get it all over so I know the wrap will stick together. The second common mistake is not being prepared. Preparing your ingredients ahead of making your wraps means you can put them together quickly and avoid them drying out and cracking when you roll them up. Using a mandolin is great for cutting ingredients like the cucumber. It keeps all the slices uniform and it's so much quicker than cutting them all by hand, especially if you're making a number of wraps for a large family or get together. These keep well for a day or two if you stack them in piles and wrap them before putting them in the fridge. You can also cut the tomatoes ahead of time. I like to cut out the core piece and cut them in half to give a stable base. If they're not wobbling around, it's much easier to keep the slices thin and consistent. You don't want big chunky pieces. These will keep a couple of days wrapped in the fridge too. Boiled eggs are a great vegetarian filling for wraps, but they're also great for binding the fillings together. You can mash these however you like. A fork works well, or push the eggs through a wire cooling rack. Whatever works for you. I like to mix it with mayonnaise, but you can add a little mustard or curry powder for extra flavour. The mayonnaise makes it sticky, which will help hold the wrap together. Boiled eggs are crumbly, so if we didn't add something to bind it together, it would all fall out of the wrap. This is another filling that works well in a piping bag. It makes it so much quicker to add than trying to spoon it onto each wrap. I'm also going to thinly shred this cabbage. An alternative to using the individual ingredients is to use a pre-made salad like a coleslaw, for instance. I prefer to keep them separate so I can create a whole range of different filling combinations. Just remember, whatever you use needs to be thinly sliced. That brings us to another common mistake. When you're preparing your wrap fillings, make sure your ingredients are either mushy like the egg filling or they're cut small and thin. If you use big chunky pieces, you risk making holes in the delicate tortilla. It'll all turn into a big mess. With that in mind, I'll thinly slice the gherkins so they're ready to add too. You either love these or hate them. I love the tang they add to a wrap or sandwich, so they're often a filling I include. Avocados are also a great filling option. They work well either sliced thinly or mashed into a guacamole style dip. In a piping bag, of course. I often get asked if I do anything special to stop them going brown. The short answer is no. I slice them and pretty much add them straight to the wrap, and because wraps are best eaten fairly soon after making them, browning has never been an issue. If you try to keep wraps overnight, the avocado will likely start to discolour. If you love having everything laid out clearly in one place with photos that show exactly what to do, you'll really enjoy my brand new tortilla wrap ebook. It's packed with step-by-step visuals, clever techniques and presentation ideas to help you create perfect wraps for platters and parties. There's a link in the description below. Let's talk about the tortilla wraps themselves. There are lots of different options when it comes to wraps. There are different colours, flavours and shapes available. A common mistake that's easily made is not using the best wrap for the job. Round wraps work best for making individual lunch portions. They fold up nicely into a neat little package. Rectangle wraps are much better for platters because you can roll them and you don't end up with these empty edge pieces. So that's what we need to use today. The good news is, if you can only find round wraps, you can easily trim them into a rectangle shape. The edge pieces make tasty chips or bases for appetizers if you crisp them up in an air fryer or grill them in the oven. So nothing needs to be wasted. The most important thing is to make sure you use fresh wraps. There's nothing worse than trying to roll a wrap and it just cracks and tears. Fresh wraps are pliable and a whole lot more forgiving. If you find yourself with old wraps, turn them into those chips or appetizer bases. Our ingredients are prepared, we've got our wraps, let's start making them. From a practical point of view, it's so efficient to lay out your wraps so you can make a few at once. Another commonly overlooked mistake is making your wraps inside out. As a result of the cooking process, you often get one side that has a bit more visual appeal with darker patches or spots, and one side that's a bit more pasty coloured. We want the side with the most visual appeal on the outside of the wrap, so we'll lay these out with that side down. Mistake number 7. Don't forget the glue. You can make a gorgeous wrap with amazing ingredients, but if you skip the mayonnaise or chutney, the glue that holds everything together, your wrap simply won't stay wrapped. So let's add the mayonnaise. This is where you can see the efficiency of the piping bag. You can quickly add a mayonnaise glue layer across all the wraps. Notice how I'm adding it in a diagonal pattern. This ensures I have really good glue coverage over the whole wrap. Moving on to adding the ingredients. I always start with the leafy salad greens. They give a really good base to build on and they're not soggy or hard straight on the delicate tortilla. I usually leave a bit of space at the bottom so that I have a piece to fold over when I start rolling these up. See the beautiful mix of colours and textures coming through here? Next, I'm going to add a layer of cucumber slices to each wrap. Hasn't our prep made this so quick? Make sure you lay these out from edge to edge so you don't end up with empty spots on the sides. Then I'll add the tomato. These are your bulking ingredients. They fill out the wrap and always work well. Notice how I'm keeping the slices lengthwise. This makes rolling much easier because the pieces bend with the wrap rather than resisting it. This is a good time to remind you of another common mistake. We're making rolled wraps, not foldovers. If you place the ingredients next to each other like this, it doesn't roll very well and you end up with a foldover. You can see here how they end up looking squashed compared to being nice round rolls. This is why I pile the ingredients up, one on top of the other, to give us nice round rolls. Look at these colours, they're so bright and exciting. When you have a variety of ingredients, you can start mixing them up so that not every wrap has the same fillings. I've added red cabbage to the top row and I'm adding the carrot and beetroot mix to the bottom row. You can already see how different the colours and flavours will be in the final wraps. Then I'll add the sliced meats. If I add the ham to the two wraps on the left, it means I've got one wrap with ham and cabbage and one wrap with ham and carrot. Keep this idea in mind as you add the remaining ingredients to create a wide range of wraps with a variety of different flavour combinations. Another common mistake is overfilling your wrap. You don't want to completely fill it. If you add the ingredients completely covering the tortilla, they end up rolling themselves right out of the wrap. That doesn't look so appetizing anymore, does it? Keep the ingredients in a straight line and layer them up. It works so much better. And make sure you have the mayonnaise right to the edge. This will help stick the end together. Now I'll add the egg filling, avocado and gherkins. To continue creating different flavour combinations, I'm splitting these across the wraps. Egg on two, avocado on two and gherkins on the other two. Of course, these are being made with the fillings I have today, but you can add just about anything to these. There are no rules to the flavours and combinations. I'll also add some cheese to some of these. Alfalfa sprouts, snow pea shoots, tuna, smoked salmon, roasted red capsicums are all delicious flavour additions too. Don't forget the chutneys and dips. These are like a secret little flavour boost that can take your wraps from just a wrap to wow, that tastes delicious. Using a piping bag is definitely the quickest and cleanest way of adding these to your wraps. But if you're only doing a few, you can try to spoon it on. It'll just take you a bit longer. Sometimes I get asked if there's anything else you can use instead of the mayonnaise for the base layer. Of course there is. You can make different spreads by combining a dip with cream cheese or sour cream. Depending on the consistency of the spread, you might be able to pipe it on, but if it's too thick, you'll need to spread it on. Pesto works really well, or a mustard or hummus are some other options. The point is, it needs to be something sticky to hold the wrap together. We're ready to roll these up. I fold the bottom over, tuck it in all the way along as tightly as possible, and then roll it up, keeping it as tight as possible. Once they're rolled, place them on the seam and leave them to settle and stick together. We don't want these unravelling on the plate. To stop the tortilla drying out, you can cover the rolls with a tea towel until you're ready to cut them. I'll be cutting mine immediately, so it's not necessary for me today. Clean up your workspace as you go, so you don't get the chutney and mayonnaise remnants spread all over the outside of the other tortillas. Another comment I often get is, how is that a wrap? You haven't wrapped it. This is the classic wrap fold. The edges go in and you roll it up into a tidy little parcel. It's practical and works perfectly for a lunch, especially a lunch on the go. But it's not pretty and suitable for a cocktail function or platter. Imagine a platter of these piled up. It would be pretty dull because all you can see is the tortilla. Even if you cut this to expose the fillings, the end portion is more wrap than anything else because all the folded tortilla is squashed in there. A bit like the edge of a piece of battered fish. It's all batter and no fish. See how these have the fillings end to end. No piece has a whole lot of bunched up tortilla. The tortilla is simply holding these delicious fillings together. Let's cut these into cocktail portions. I like to cut them into thirds and then into halves to create perfect little pieces. A common mistake here is not cleaning your knife between cuts. This is so easily fixed and makes such a difference to your overall presentation. If your knife cuts through anything sticky like the egg or something brightly coloured like the beetroot, it will leave residue on the blade. If you don't wipe it clean before the next cut, that residue will transfer onto the tortilla. This really shows in the final presentation, so taking a moment to clean your knife between cuts is well worth it. Another common mistake is using the wrong knife. Don't cut your wraps with a chef's knife. Look how it squashes these poor wraps. That extra pressure ruins the shape of the wrap before you even finish the slice. Use a serrated knife. It saws through the ingredients and gives you much tidier, rounded pieces instead of squashed ones. I used to make thousands of these for events, and people loved how they looked great on the platter, but were small enough to pick up and hold without the filling falling out. Stabilize the wraps as you cut them by popping a finger over the knife blade to support both sides of the wrap as you cut. I like to angle slice these through the center. It enlarges the surface area of the beautiful bright fillings, which is what makes these look so appealing. We may as well show it off as much as possible. Don't plate these haphazardly. Have a plan when you're plating your wraps. Know how many pieces you have so you can space them evenly. It's little things like this that effortlessly and instantly improve your plating. To plate these, I'm lining them up in 4 rows, placing the lower cut sides towards the center so they meet and form a tidy mirrored seam. Then I'm positioning a few extra pieces along the edges, turning them gently inward so the whole platter feels balanced. I've got 6 wraps here, and after cutting each one into 6 pieces, that gives me 36 little bites to work with. There are so many ways you can plate these, and it really comes down to the platter you're using. I'm going for a long narrow layout to suit this board, but if you're using something square or round, you'll need to arrange yours a bit differently to make the most of your presentation. And that's it. 13 wrap mistakes you'll never make again. Now you know exactly what to avoid and how to make wraps that look beautiful and hold together perfectly. If you want to take it one step further, watch this video here where I show you how to make your own tortilla wrap bases at home. They're honestly easier than you think, and they taste amazing. See you over there.